because I know the truth. Ain't none of you just put me on the set, and ain't none of you gonna kick me off the set.
Were you there that day?
Yes, I was. Guy rolled up, Nipsey's out hanging, signing autographs or whatever. Guy rolled up. I don't know what his intentions was. As I replay it, I just replay it over and over, and I wish I could have done something differently. I wish I'd have never left his side.
Nipsey's death has always felt heavy with tension and unanswered questions. But now, after years of silence, Snoop Dogg just shook the courtroom and the streets by finally speaking out under oath. Word is, Snoop might have exposed Big U and even hinted at his own role in what happened to Nipsey. But what really shocked everyone wasn't what he said. It was why he decided to finally speak. Snoop's sudden apology hit the room like a thunderclap, leaving everyone frozen in disbelief. When Snoop stood before that courtroom, he didn't just apologize for old mistakes, he dropped a bomb that no one saw coming, with reporters scribbling.
I'm gonna miss him. The world misses him. It's great what he's done for the world. I'm gonna miss his smile. I'm gonna miss him just rolling up on me. I'm gonna miss his advice. He give me books to read. There's just so many things I'm gonna miss about him.
Cameras flashing and jaws dropping, he called out one of Los Angeles' most respected yet feared names in the street world, Big U. Yes, you heard that right. Snoop's own words tied Big U to the long-whispered conspiracy theories around Nipsey Hussle's tragic murder. And if that wasn't wild enough, the way Snoop laid it all out had people whisper.
All you talking that about, Snoop can't come to the hood. He can do whatever I like when I like. Second of all, you 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? Because I won't help you no more?
Bring the one word no one ever thought would be linked to him. Snitch! Let's rewind a bit. Nipsey Hussle wasn't just a rapper. He was Crenshaw's pride. A man who built businesses, uplifted his people, and stayed true to the streets that raised him. But when he was killed in March 2019, it didn't just break hearts. It opened floodgates of rumors, finger-pointing, and dark theories. Some said it was street politics gone wrong. Others swore bigger forces were in play. Yet one name kept echoing, Big U, Nipsey's former manager, a man both respected and feared across Los Angeles. To understand why Snoop's words hit so hard, you gotta understand who Big U really is. He wasn't just some old associate.
And I had never heard that. I had never heard of the Hussle conspiracy that Big U had that something to do with it, right? But let me get to a little deeper question. The rumor has it is that Nip came up to this guy and said, I can't hang with you or we can't be around because he was a rat, right?
Right.
Let me ask you a question, it's kind of harsh. Was Nipsey supposed to say that? If you're not in the streets no more, is your opinion on the streets that valid? I'm asking.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, you gotta understand it was two things. Let me ask you this, because what bothers me the most is when people say he got killed by one of his own homies.
He was deeply tied to Nipsey's rise, his success, and even the conflicts that came with fame and territory. Now fast forward to Snoop Dogg, the legend from Long Beach. For decades, he's been more than a rapper. He's a global icon, a businessman, a man who made it out but never forgot where he came from. So when he speaks about something this deep, the world listens. And this time, the world went silent. In court, Snoop took a deep breath, admitted his past mistakes, and apologized. Not just to the court, but to Nipsey's family, fans, and memory. But then came the part that stopped everything cold. According to reports, Snoop pointed at Big U's alleged role in the chaos that led to Nipsey's death. To some, it sounded like truth-telling. To others, it sounded like cooperation with the law. And in street culture, that label is dangerous. People call it snitching. But here's where things get crazy. What Snoop said in court lined up with whispers that have been floating around for years. From Nipsey's close friends to Big U's own defensive interviews, the puzzle pieces started clicking together. Listen to this. One of Nipsey's closest friends, who was right there the day he was shot, once shared his pain on camera. That raw emotion, that heartbreak, made everyone feel the weight of what really went down. And now, Snoop's words brought that pain right back into the spotlight. It's like the entire city was forced to ask again, was Big U somehow connected to the events that led to Nipsey's death? Now, Big U hasn't stayed quiet about the rumors. He's faced them head-on in interviews, insisting people twisted the story. Watch how defensive he gets, frustrated even that his name keeps getting dragged into this storm. But no matter how many times he speaks, the whispers don't stop. So when Snoop's courtroom confession echoed those same suspicions, it didn't calm things down. It exploded them. The streets started buzzing again, questioning loyalties, replaying old videos, and wondering who was really telling the truth. Think about it. For years, Snoop's balanced two worlds. On one side, the peacemaker, the businessman, the global icon. On the other, the man who still carries the streets in his blood. So when he speaks on something this personal, everyone pays attention. And now the lines between loyalty, truth, and survival have never been blurrier. At first, it seemed like something nobody thought they'd ever witness again. Snoop Dogg stood there, voice soft, shoulders lowered, almost like the weight of decades had finally caught up to him. Then came what no one expected, an apology. He spoke about his past, about how his music, his words, and his influence had shaped the streets of Los Angeles, sometimes in the wrong way. He admitted that glorifying gang life had fueled violence that scarred the city for generations. It was deep, emotional, and raw, like he was trying to bury Snoop Dogg the gangster and reintroduce Snoop Dogg the grown man, the wise one. But just when it felt like closure, everything flipped. Instead of ending a chapter, Snoop ripped the wound wide open again. Because after that emotional apology came the accusations, and the name that rolled off his tongue had the courtroom gasping, Big U. The silence that followed was eerie, like the whole room forgot to breathe. It wasn't just about Snoop saying sorry, it was about who he had just pointed at. He didn't blame an outsider or some faceless figure. He put it on someone from within, and everyone from the streets knew exactly what that meant. To anyone outside that world, it might have just sounded like honesty, a man owning up and telling his truth. But to those who live by the code, Snoop had just crossed a dangerous line. In street rules, there's one thing you never do. No names, no cooperation, no betrayal, no matter what. And Snoop had just stepped into the territory of testimony, the kind that can change everything. See, in Los Angeles, especially in the neighborhoods that raise both Nipsey Hussle and Snoop Dogg, credibility is everything. You can lose money and bounce back, you can lose fame and rebuild, but once your credibility's gone, it's over. Respect runs the streets, and respect and snitching can't exist in the same breath. That's why Snoop's apology didn't just land as remorse, it hit like a bomb going off in every corner of the city. Now let's talk about why Big U's name carries so much weight. To Nipsey, Big U wasn't just a manager, he was the bridge between the block and the boardroom. He gave Nipsey protection, connections, and that street seal of approval. But in that world, relationships are never simple. They're a mix of mentorship, control, loyalty, and fear. When Nipsey started rising beyond the street scene, carving his own lane as a businessman and visionary, that shift created tension. He didn't need a street protector anymore. He was building empires. But independence, while powerful, can also be risky. That gap between him and Big U became the perfect space for rumors to grow. And when Nipsey was murdered, those rumors exploded. Some said it was just a tragic act of jealousy, while others whispered about betrayal, hidden politics, and quiet power moves behind the scenes. Big U's name kept popping up, not because of proof, but because of suspicion. In the streets, people often say the most dangerous knife doesn't come from your enemy. It comes from someone you once trusted. Big U, for his part, has never stayed silent about it. He's faced those accusations head on, clearly frustrated and tired of his name being dragged through the mud. He's pushed back hard, rejecting every claim and flipping the story by saying the real killer wasn't family, not truly one of them. It's his way of trying to step away from the fire, to say, don't pin this on me. But no matter how many times he denies it, the whispers don't fade. They just grow louder every time someone like Snoop opens his mouth. Every fresh rumor, every new accusation, and every conspiracy whispered in dark corners of the city kept reopening the same wound. The people closest to Nipsey couldn't even mourn in peace. The noise never stopped. His name, his memory, got tangled in stories that twisted who he really was, turning their grief into something for the world to pick apart like gossip instead of loss. For Lauren London, the pain cut deep. Losing Nipsey wasn't just losing the man she loved. It was losing the life they were building together. At his memorial, her trembling voice broke hearts as she spoke about raising their son without him, about one day having to explain why his father was taken so soon. That kind of pain doesn't fade, it becomes part of you. For Nipsey's mother, Angelique Smith, the grief was a double weight. She was mourning her child while also standing strong for everyone else, holding her family together and guiding a community that looked to her for strength. And his brother, Samuel Black Sam Asghedom, carried his own kind of burden, keeping Nipsey's dream alive through the Marathon clothing store and the businesses his brother built from the ground up. Each of them has been trying to hold on to his legacy, even as the world keeps spinning wild stories. To the city of Los Angeles, Nipsey wasn't just another rapper. He was proof that change was possible. He showed that a man could rise above street violence while still staying connected to where he came from. His life was the blueprint, but his death was a brutal reminder that the streets don't let go easily. And now Snoop's courtroom confession proves another harsh truth. Even legends can't outrun the weight of the code. The streets never forget, and they rarely forgive. Once that word snitch starts floating around, it sticks. It becomes a scar that doesn't fade. Whether you're a kid on the corner or a superstar with global fame, the rules stay the same, and breaking them can bury you faster than bullets ever could. Now the whole coast is left wondering, did Snoop's words change the game forever? Did he finally force the culture to face some uncomfortable truths about loyalty, silence, and betrayal? Or did he just dig himself into a deeper hole, trading credibility for honesty, something the streets may never forgive? Nipsey's spirit still hangs heavy over that question, like a shadow that won't fade. His legacy lives on, in the music, in the murals splashed across LA walls, in the businesses that continue to thrive in his name. But his ghost also lives in the code, in every conversation about trust, betrayal, and what happens when someone dares to speak a name out loud. Until the truth is faced, whatever that truth really is, Nipsey's ghost will keep haunting not just Snoop, not just Big U, but the whole city that raised them both. So what do you think? Did Snoop Dogg's courtroom apology finally bring light to what really happened? Or did it just stir up more confusion, pain, and division around Nipsey's legacy? Drop your thoughts below and check out the next video for more on this story.